It's the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and those damn Maroons have done it again. Mortlock Shield is done and dusted, and they've retained their title. They weren't happy just winning the Mortlock Shield this year. Decided they might go about winning the Norwood Cup as well, and I've got a man on the line who I'm sure wants to brag about it. Chris Prime, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, Greg. It was quite a successful weekend for Great Flinders footy. So, look, I think as far as Mortlock goes, I guess that's where the weekend started, and I'm pretty sure Saturday night the boys would have gone home, pretty disappointed, like having dropped the game late in the day against Lincoln City. But yeah, like with the format, you're never out of it till the last game, and lo and behold, they sort of got enough wins on Monday to get over the line and take home another shield.
Funny old carnival, wasn't it? Everyone plays everyone, and Mortlock Saturday. Yes, you're right. Great Flinders would have thought they were done and dusted after going down to Lincoln City the way they did. Lincoln City really got hold of Great Flinders after you guys beaten Lincoln Districts earlier on. But, that last game on the Saturday, Lincoln City beat you guys, and you would have thought at that point that Lincoln City were favourites to go on with it. But what they didn't factor into the equation was Great Flinders have been in this position before and just find ways out of trouble at Mortlock Shield, traditionally, don't you guys?
Well, they do, and I guess it's always sort of been built in, like you're never out of it, so they just keep fighting, and and when Lincoln City went down to Lincoln Districts on Monday, it sort of opened the door for Great Flinders to, they would have gone out there saying, boys, if we win this, we've got the shield. So I'm pretty sure Maggott would have had him pretty fired up there on Monday because he wouldn't have been happy with the loss. So look, he'll be pretty chuffed. I'm pretty sure all the boys are pretty happy.
So just to go through the details as best we can, Game 1 for Great Flinders was Lincoln Districts on Mortlock Saturday at 1:20pm was the start time there. It was Great Flinders 7-9 to Lincoln Districts 5-2. Goal kickers in that game for the Great Flinders crew, Matty Crittenden booted 3, Travis Beard 2. And best for you guys, Stoll, Crittenden, Macaulay Glover, whose name you'll hear a bit more later on. And that was Michael and Matty Crittenden named in the best there. Then, of course, the game that we mentioned against Lincoln City, which was the final game of Mortlock Saturday, where Great Flinders ended up actually going down in this one, 4-4 to Lincoln City, 6-3. Only single goal kickers, Matty Crittenden and Travis Beard, also on the score sheet there with one each. But Stoll, Haas, Malochy, Pake, Jackson, Norton named in the best there. And that should have been a giveaway, I reckon, because those two games you had a fair spread of best players, and that is Great Flinders' great strength at Mortlock, is how deep you guys actually run.
Oh, look, it is. And I think probably also shows, like, when you look through the scorecard of most games, one side got a bit of a break. And in the shortened games, if you get that 3 or 4 goals break in that first half, like it's pretty hard to peg back. Like City kicked 4-1 in the first half, and Great Flinders fought back, but it's too big a gap. So it is really tough, those shorter games. Look, great format. You get to play everyone, so you know where you sit. But yeah, the short games make it hard if you get behind. So, credit to the boys.
Yep, we moved to Mortlock Monday, a position that Great Flinders are unaccustomed to for Mortlock Monday, is kicking the dew off the ground at 10am. Well, you had the early start, and it didn't do you any harm. 8-5 to 2-3 over Eastern Air. Rakawassa for Eastern Air was outstanding, but Macaulay Glover again, Casey Carr, Stephen Crittenden, Matthew Crittenden, some fairly familiar names there doing the business for you guys.
Yep, I think when you start looking through those names, it's a really good nucleus of the side. And young Macaulay Glover coming in and just gave some real pace and attack on the ball. So, look, a good bunch of senior blokes and the good young ones coming in doing their role. So, look, good team.
So then it was all down to whether or not Lincoln City would lose a game for Great Flinders, and they ran into their old foe, Lincoln Districts, the Lincoln Derby, so to speak. And Lincoln Districts love playing the spoiler role. They only won the one game for the Carnival, and it was the one that mattered most. They beat Lincoln City 56-24, whilst Great Flinders gearing up for their final match of the Carnival against Western Air. They followed it straight away, going out there knowing that all they had to do percentage-wise was win the game, and they would likely be Mortlock champions. They did that fairly comfortably in the end against Western Air, 8-7 to 5-3. Again, getting the job done up front, Macaulay Glover and Stephen Crittenden, 2 goals each, along with young Cody Rosalia. And Glover, Carr, Hazelgrove and Michael Crittenden named in the best once again. So, that basically secured the shield for you guys.
Yeah, that did. And once again, it takes full 2 days to win it. So if you're not on the ball, it can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes through the 2 days, and it can cost you. So look, it is a credit to all the blokes that played, not just for Great Flinders, but I think everyone down there. We always keep questioning how it keeps going, and it's the pinnacle of Eyre Peninsula football. You want to play Mortlock Shield, no matter what. So it is really good to be able to go down and watch the 5 leagues play each other. So
yeah,
that's exciting.
At the end of the Carnival, the team of the Carnival is always picked, and some of those names that we were talking about through those the various 4 games are obviously represented in the team of the Carnival. You got a rundown of the list there, Primey?
I'm trying to find it again now.
Well, I've got it here in front of me.
Michael Creddy in forward pocket, Macaulay Glover on a wing, Bradley Hazelgrove on a half-back flank, Matty Crittenden full-back, Casey Carr, Ruck Rover, Jacob Stoll as an interchange, and Michael Curtis as coach.
Well, makes sense. He's the Mortlock winning coach. So does that necessarily mean he'll go and coach Western Zone at the championships? Do you know? Is he planning on doing that?
Look, I don't know. He's got his fingers in a few different pies. As Michael, he's the EP under 15 runner.
I'm fairly sure it's normally appointed, isn't it?
The EP coach, or the Western Zone coach, is an appointed position. It's not picked from Mortlock. So
no.
He's pretty full on in his footy. Is Michael? So he enjoys working with the kids, and I know he loves coaching Mortlock. He probably steps on a few toes as he goes along. He knows which way he likes to go about things, and that's the way it happens.
Well, he gets the job done again, back-to-back now, 2019, 2021 Mortlock Shield winners. 2020 didn't happen, as we know, because of coronavirus. But along with those guys named in the team of the Carnival, there was also a couple of other award winners, and they all went to the one bloke. So I think you had the Carnival runner-up, best and fairest, and also the Don McSweeney medalist. Don, a champion of Great Flinders football and Eyre Peninsula football. And the medal for best under 21 at Mortlock is named in his honour. They both went to the same guy.
Yep, Macaulay Glover had an outstanding Carnival, and was lucky enough to be runner-up for the best and fairest and best under 21. So, look, it is a real credit to him. He's an outstanding young footballer. Yep.
Congratulations to the Maroons. It does stick in my throat a little bit saying that, but you know what? One thing, whether you love or hate Great Flinders come Mortlock time, the one thing you've always got to say is that Great Flinders always turn up to play Mortlock. They love it. They bleed maroon when they put that jumper on, and they grow an extra foot, I reckon, sometimes, these Great Flinders guys. So all you can do is doff the cap and say, too good again, Primey.
Well, I mean, yeah, they were too good. I've played in 4 different leagues, and I finished in Great Flinders. And I always said the difference was when you went to Great Flinders, everyone wanted to play. Everyone wanted to play for the Maroons. And you didn't have any trouble finding players or, finding who was available. Everyone was. So I think that was the difference I found. everyone wanted to play for that. It wasn't just, 2 or 3 blokes here and, we'll find a couple of blokes to fill in. Like, yeah, it was a real passion to play there. So I think that goes a long way towards I've won a few.
It does, and association footy's drilled into your boys at a young age group. There's no doubt about that. For example, on Sunday, the Norwood Cup, the under-15s, Great Flinders picked that up as well because that's what they do at association level. 3 games, 3 wins, including the grand final win, which we'll get to in a moment. But the Norwood Cup is a great stepping stone for plenty of footballers on the EP who've gone on to higher honours, played in the AFL, played at SANFL level. There's plenty of players that are playing in the SANFL right now that have come out of the Norwood Cup and been scouted there. Great Flinders did it fairly comfortably in their first game against Lincoln City, belted them by 10 goals. Then you came up against Eastern Air and it was a pretty similar result there. The final obviously was much tighter against Lincoln Districts, who had a pretty cruisy path to the final as well. But in the final, your boys were too good, winning 5 goals 7 to 2 goals 6. So in the final, goals to Charlie Turnbull, a couple for him, and then singles to Jackson Newton, Oz Richardson and Nicholas Cave. Best in the final were Brody Stratford, Charlie Turnbull, Ezra Foster, Oz Richardson, Reuben Hill and Ethan Pugsley. There's some familiar names there, Primey.
Oh, look, there it is. It's, once again, like the young kids are pretty keen to play, and I've talked to a couple of the kids that played down there, and it's like just a real thrill to play with kids your own age and similar skill levels. Like a lot of these guys are playing senior footy as well, so you're hitting targets, and it's a real pinnacle to watch this underage footy. Like the under 15s is outstanding, and so are the under 17s. Like before we curve their passion and their take their flair out. This is where they still go about the stuff the way you're supposed to play footy.
Thing I've always loved about the Port Adelaide Magpies Cup, and now it's the Norwood Cup, of course, but that under-15 age bracket, they haven't been recruited to Adelaide yet. So the best of the best at that age group on EP are playing together, and their passion for it is obvious for everyone to see. And they're all at the one venue on the one day in the Norwood Cup. So it's a really good standard of footy. The kids are keen as mustard to show their wares on the big stage. They love getting on Centenary Oval and showing off in front of their mates, in front of their families and friends. So, when you have a look at traditionally the finals and some of the players that have come out of the that carnival and gone on to greater honours, there's plenty of big names.
Oh, look, there is. It is a stepping stone. Like a lot of these guys will now have the opportunity at the rep, go on and try and get picked in the EP team and then on to Norwood's under 16s. And it is part of that pathway that begins. Like you start at this level and, you start at your club level and then your rep level and, you keep trying to take it further, and each step you take is a bit more difficult, and as you take it, you're gaining more confidence to go forward. So it's a stepping stone for them all.
All right, so now that that's all behind us, and I don't have to talk about how good Great Flinders are anymore, we can go back to club matches now, thank goodness. Oof, that was starting to make me feel a little bit physically ill. But Tumby Bay, your boys have got the bye.
We have, for some of us old blokes, that's a wonderful news.
You've already had a week off, mate.
I've had a month off.
One more week off won't hurt you, I suppose.
Another month probably wouldn't.
All right, so the Blues, they keep the mothballs in the socks for another week, but let's have a look at the games that will be played, and there are a couple of absolute belters this weekend. First of all, let's start at Ungara. Air United, they'll take on Lock, who, disappointing last start, the Roos. They want to bounce back. Air United might just sniff an opportunity to get their first win of the season here, but you'd think Lock will start favourites.
Oh, look, I think Lock will be favourites. Air United, once again, have battled hard week in, week out, and it's about, for a lot of the time, it's stopping and staying with sides as long as they can. And, Nigel James got hold of them a couple of weeks ago, and it's about like being able to. If you got one key forward, they have to be able to stop that one key forward, and it's just what they're just lacking one or two, maybe three players, just to give them that bit extra balance. So yeah, I think Lock will come away with the chocolates by 8 to 10 goals.
Probably a quality player down the spine in every position, and I don't mean they're lacking a spine, far from it, in fact. So, United supporters, don't ring me up and accuse you of not having a backbone. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying some really big key position players, full forward, centre-half back, full-back, would really help their cause.
Well, it just means the young guys trying to play those spots now get to learn their trade as a half-back flanker or a half-forward flanker. You're not taking necessarily the best backman or the best forward. You're taking the next one down. So it just that extra player or two of that top level just makes it easier for everyone.
Sure. Too much to play for. Lock win that one, but the other two games of the round are exactly that. Games of the round, probably equal billing in terms of how close they will be. Elliston Districts teetering on the brink at the moment in 5th position on percentage. They take on Ramblers, who are equal on wins with them and just, I believe, 1.47 percentage points clear of them. This is the old-fashioned 4-point game, Primey.
Oh, it is, and it comes down to if you want to play finals, you have to win these tough games, and look, it's pretty hard to pick. It's at Elliston, which I think they play they end up with a stronger side there.
They do.
A little bit more depth.
The smaller oval, will it have an impact on Ramblers? I mean, we know the size of the Cummins Oval, so it's what they're used to playing on, but I don't know if it'll have an impact or not, but it is a smaller ground there at Elliston, and they're probably more used to it.
Oh, yes, it's a smaller ground that runs a different direction. And that might sound absolutely silly for a lot of people, but footballers are pretty fickle. And you can put an oval a different direction, or not they'll kick sideways, but it just throws their centre of balance a little bit. So,
well, there's a reason they run north-south normally, and that's to avoid the sun, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of east-west ones on Eyre Peninsula, Elliston being one of them, Arno Bay being the other. And there'll be a lot of, I know playing a lot of footy at Arno Bay, there was a lot of teams that didn't like going there. And that was when we were super strong. It was just, the oval ran the wrong way for them.
Yeah.
So whether that makes a difference this week, look, I think at home Elliston Districts will just get over the line. I think it'll be a tight game, but it'll be couple of goals and Elliston Districts will get up.
Should be a beauty. And I tell you what, we've got the reigning champs who are never, they're still the champs until someone beats them. And then you've got the team that we think is the heir apparent playing each other at Cummins. It is the Cougars crew from Cummins Kapini taking on those Eagles from United Yolana. It's like, I guess, the old Rocky Balboa story against the Mr. T character in Rocky 3, isn't it? To the heir apparent's just waiting to pounce on the current champion.
Oh, yes, I think you're correct. I don't know about if it's the Mr. T thing. I can't see anyone running around there with a horse, but and the big gold chains. But yeah, look, I think this obviously, we've been looking for this game for a while, and it'll be an absolute arm wrestle. The midfields, two pretty strong midfields, and I think that's where the game will be won. Like Yolana, they're get it in their forward lines, will score. Kapini, they get it in there as well. We know what they can do. So the battle of the midfield will be right on Saturday.
It will. Clubber Lang was the name of the character, by the way, just for those of you playing at home. But in terms of Yoey Wagner, of course, the Eagles will be looking to keep him quiet. Whether or not and we've talked about this. This will be a good test for Cougars and their forward line. If have they got enough avenues to goal to beat really good sides? That's been the question mark up until this point. They sort of semi-answered it the week before Mortlock. They'll get a chance to do it against a really good side this week. So I guess we'll wait and see. It should be a beauty, though.
It should be, and it's not just their forward line. And I think that midfield pressure. Because if you give the midfield, your Lockie Takes, your Hazels, those guys running through the midfield, if you give them like a free run, there's nothing your backman can do. And going the other way, Casey Carr and those guys, he's got running around with him. Like if you give them 5-10 metres, your backman can be as good as the best on the field, but they're not going to stop the ball hitting the full forward. So I think the real key isn't so much the forward lines. I reckon it's right in the guts. So we'll see who comes out on top.
You're exactly right, and I know that for many years, United Ulana have been keen to anyone that will listen that we are more than just a one-man band. Yes, they've had old ex Xavier Watson running through their midfield for many years, and he is a star. Everybody knows that, but they've had some other stars surrounding him. I know they've been pretty keen to prove that they are more than a one-man band. They'll get their chance on Saturday to prove exactly that because they're going to come up against a very good side without Xavier Watson for the first time. So let's see how they go. For mine, I think at home, Cummins Kapini might just get up.
Oh, look, I think you're right. I think it will probably only be a couple of goals in it. I think Cougars by 2. I'll give them 2 goals.
So. Should be a ripper. Anything else, Primey, before we wrap up?
Oh no! Look, I think I think Nigel James down measuring up Michael Curtis's house this week for an extension to add to his medals there. Like obviously his runner for the under-15s on Sunday, he added to his trophy cabinet pretty well. Did young Maggot, so good work to the Great Flinders crew.
Nige didn't get selected for Mortlock, did he?
No, but he's obviously just doing extensions for the Maggot,
not for not getting selected for Mortlock. He might do a fairly shabby job of any extension. Just
I reckon he might need a rest occasionally.
Good stuff. All right, mate. We'll leave it there. Good luck with the bye this weekend. I'm sure you'll enjoy that. We'll catch up with you next week.
No worries. Thanks, Greg.